Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our season finale here on Rewired Radio. I'm your host, DJ Drew.
And I'm Coral, your favorite event planner.
And today's guest is one of the most well-established and elite DJ MCs. He's also the CEO that runs one of the biggest DJ entertainment companies in California and Arizona. Without any further ado, from the School of Hard Knocks with Vox, let's welcome Ricky Hayes. Woo!
Thank you, Drew. Thank you, Coral. Appreciate it.
Pleasure
Glad
to
to be
have you.
here. Thank you.
Pleasure to have you, Ricky.
Yeah. My name is Ricky Hayes. I'm with Vox DJs. I'm our COO and DJ MC there. I'm right here from Southern California, born and raised.
Beautiful place to be.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you with us today. We met actually a few years back, and I've been wanting to have you on the show for a while now. So it's an honor to have you. We've got a lot to talk about. I am very excited about this episode. So I just want to get right into it. We've actually had this conversation plenty of times that the DJ can make or break your event. Isn't that right, Coral?
I think we talk about it basically every episode, but DJs honestly make a wedding. You have to have a good DJ. You need a good MC, and you need someone that's going to play some good music.
Definitely. And I wanted to ask you, Ricky, based on your experience, what do you think are the most important factors to decide a successful wedding and maybe hiring someone as a DJ that you
Right.
may regret?
Yeah. So for me, number one is the client you have. Every client's going to be different, right? I mean, you guys have worked each with different types of clients, different kind of styles, personalities. So you want to make sure it's a good fit between you and your client. And the way I see that is it's not like there's two types of DJs, but maybe you guys can speak to this too. Usually on one end of the spectrum, there's that DJ that is like more heavy on the mic, right? A little bit more of the MC first style and engaging. And there's the one that's more, not necessarily a club DJ, but more leads with the music, right? And it's on the
Yeah.
mic for the certain things. So each client I've worked with, it always feels like they want to go to one end of the spectrum. Maybe they want the entertainer that's kind of out there, who's hyping up the party the whole time. Or maybe they want it to be the person who's kind of laid back, right music, right time, but not in your face, not cheesy. So to have a good like synergy with your client, I find if you can get on the same page as them in the planning. So, we don't know their friends or family before we show up.
True.
So if we can kind of get a little insight into what their style or vibe is
Mhm.
from the initial like meet and greet or whatever that might be, then I feel like your success for the wedding is like you don't feel like a guest, but you feel like a person who would have been there, right? Because you're on the same page as your client. You're newlyweds. You want to feel like kind of a friend in a way.
True.
And so then the parents or family trust you. They're on your side the whole time, right? So I find that's usually a good place to start. Make sure you're on the same page as what the expectations are on like how involved you are. MC first, DJ first, kind of what that balance is.
Right.
Totally.
It really depends on the couple, right? Like
Yeah.
if they want somebody who talks more on the mic, or maybe they just want someone not to talk so much and play music more often.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and that's a huge thing too. Like while I'm helping my clients try to pick a DJ, normally we'll go with the company and then they interview, whoever's like the main part of Vox, whoever's doing the phone calls, let's say, and they say, "Oh, I want someone that's like on the dance floor dancing with us."
Yeah.
Then that kind of helps you guys too. Like, okay, we have 3 good DJs that are gonna, be very on the mic.
Yeah.
Or they're like, you know what? I just want straight dancing. Like, I don't really need someone that's like super into the microphone. Then you're like, perfect.
Yeah.
We have someone that's more behind the scenes, but still going to play really good music. So,
What's your
Yeah.
style, Ricky?
yeah.
I think actually, even as a DJ, I'm a little bit more introverted just in my personal life.
Really? I
Yeah.
wouldn't have guessed that.
I love being out and meeting people, but
Yeah.
I think like, some of my closest friends and family will say like I'm definitely more like
Introverted.
introverted and just in public. So
Totally.
I think the way I approach DJing an event is I'm going to be music first, but I will take the level up of what I need to MC wise based off of what it calls for. You guys have probably seen events where, maybe the dance floor is like a little bit dying. And if that calls for someone helping to hype it up or make a request or, dedicate something to someone and start MCing a little bit more, by all means, I will do that. But I know you guys have talked about on the podcast before, stuff like group dances and interactive things.
Oh yeah,
My
we're,
favorite.
we're gonna get into that.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get into that. That's something where it's like on my own. If it was me DJing, like I probably wouldn't do that on my own. But it's all about like what it calls for. Like I don't
Right.
want to see a dance floor
Empty.
die
It's a
Mhm.
nightmare.
or
Yeah,
and be
yeah.
like, okay, well I guess that song didn't work. That song didn't work. Well, I give up.
Totally.
You got to fill in the blanks a little
Definitely.
bit there. So that's my style is just if it calls for it, I have no problem. I'll get out there on the dance floor. I'll lead a Cupid shuffle. I'll do whatever,
Yes, let's do it.
Yeah, I'll do what I need to, but I don't really try to force anything,
Mhm.
as far as the MC side of things.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah. So also you as a DJ, let's say I let you do the timeline as a wedding planner. I'm like, you know what? You do the timeline. What do you think the best way to open up the dance floor would be? Would it be like right after toasts or after the, father-daughter dance? Like what's I guess in your opinion from what you've seen, what's the
Yeah.
best way
Basically,
to do
if you
so?
were creating the timeline, how would you open up the dance floor? Get
Which-
everybody on the
Which
dance
day
floor.
is
probably I would
mine.
not let
Yes.
you do.
The Coral hands you the
but-
timeline.
Yeah.
What you run with it. The ball's in your
Yeah.
court.
So I was going to ask you two about this with a question also, because
Oh.
something that I have seen work well, and I don't know if you've seen this, but to open up the dancing, I personally like to do almost like a pre-dance set. You know how we usually would be a grand entrance is the way we start off a reception,
Mhm.
right? I like to at least get people up and dancing right into like right after grand entrance. Your newlyweds come in, right? And that's a high energy moment.
Yep.
Sometimes I think the default is we go right into a first dance,
Right.
which is beautiful. And you have a moment for the bridal party to hug and really
Mhm.
celebrate and everyone cheering. But like what I did at my wedding with my wife and I, and what I've seen work well is you go right into ride that wave of energy,
Mm-hmm.
kick off the dance floor there for maybe, 2 to 3 songs. It gives people a little taste
Mhm.
and then you settle in for dinner. And then later on to your question about how do we structure the timeline, it's always about directing your attention to the dance floor. Something that has to happen where it's the eyes are already focused there. People feel like they want to join in. So that could be later on a first dance that's after dinner
Mhm.
or parent dances, or an organized something where it's like maybe an anniversary dance. So it starts to get some of the guests engaged,
Mm-hmm.
but at least focus is there. What I haven't seen work is where we do something that's on the dance floor and then we go back to cake cutting or something that might be off the dance floor, right? Because now your attention is away. As a
Totally.
DJ, sometimes it's a little bit hard to get your focus,
On the dance
back.
floor.
You got to have a banger.
Yeah.
You got to really have a song if your
Yeah.
attention is off the dance
Yeah.
floor.
And that's so true because I actually love your idea about right after grand entrance having a couple songs to do dancing. And I've seen it before.
Yeah.
Wow, that energy was crazy.
We
Yeah.
did that the wedding you and I worked.
Was that where it was?
Yeah.
Nice.
So we actually worked an event
Yeah.
together. Right when they made their grand entrance, we invited everybody on the dance
That's
floor.
where it was. And everyone
Yeah.
was
And it
so
was a hit.
pumped. But it was
Yeah.
only for a little bit. So it wasn't like, oh, I'm hungry or like.
It was like one
Yeah.
song. Actually, it was a little longer because they did the
Yeah.
horror that day.
yeah.
So we
Oh,
went
that's
into, yeah.
great.
So
Any
Yeah.
sort of tradition
Grand
like that,
entrance,
right?
Like,
into
what,
it.
Right
8
into the horror?
minutes? Yeah.
for like 10 minutes, people were up and dancing, throwing them up in the air. I
Yeah.
mean, it was wild.
You can't go
Yeah.
rogue as a DJ either because, we have to be aware also. I mean, this from, hey, your kitchen has food plated. We can't be like, let's keep the dance party going. You're like, no. Kitchen's saying like, we got to get food out.
Servers are
now.
literally waiting with
Yeah.
plates downstairs.
So,
So,
It's just
Yeah.
strategic. Like I really love doing that because I think if you're going to open the dance floor right, you want to have people anticipating like, I can't wait to dance.
Mhm.
Sometimes if you do a cocktail hour, long toast and speeches dinner, and that's the first opportunity, maybe like 2.5 hours after you saw them got married, the
Mhm.
couple get married, people are like, okay, like when are we going to dance? So you give them a little taste. So they're already
Yes.
buzzing a little bit about this is
I'm
so
gonna
fun.
start using that. And you know what? Another thing I do to get everyone on the dance floor, and I did it at my wedding, and I have all my brides do it.
Yeah.
Have a group photo.
Absolutely.
That's a good idea.
I know it's cheesy, but you get everyone up there right in front of the DJ booth.
It's a good
He's like,
idea.
"Okay, everyone, smile." Photo videos there. Then you play a banger, and then everyone's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"Oh, I'm stuck
great
here.
idea.
Let's go." And
Yeah.
people honestly stay for a couple songs because they're already up.
Oh yeah.
But like having toasts and then having everyone, okay, now get out of your seats, let's go. Like that's a lot of work.
I love that. I've
You know?
suggested that too. And
Yeah.
for my personal wedding, we took that. We did the group image as
Yeah.
well later when we opened the dance floor for a second time. right?
See?
That picture we took, I mean, you can call it cheesy or whatever, but we made that our thank you card. So we sent
Oh,
out the group picture as the front of the thank you card to everyone. On
cute.
the back, we wrote messages. So it showed like this highlight of everyone. It's the only time you get everyone all in one picture at the wedding.
Totally. Yeah.
So I love that. It was a big, nice thank you to everyone.
And like you said, you get the group photo, everybody's on the dance floor, drop a banger, and right there you got everybody on.
Making
Yeah.
our job easy,
Yeah.
dude,
Yeah.
right?
But let's say, the couple doesn't want to do a group photo and you have guests that are just kind of hanging around. What do you do as a DJ to get them on the dance floor? Do you let them just kind of like casually go there, or do you hype them up on the microphone? Like, what's your secret,
Yeah, I mean, if there isn't an activity, say we're
No
going
activity.
like cold
Yes.
into it, I'm gonna definitely look at the request list I have
Okay.
from the client, and I try to structure it as like must plays versus like play if you have time.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta go with a must play song. Of course, I have repertoire of this is the song that I might go to,
Mm-hmm.
but it's got to be something that I know they told me maybe in planning is like, oh, this was the song that me and my girlfriends used to fire up to before we go out in college.
Yeah.
Anything like that I can find an association. Or if there's just a request, sometimes people come up during dinner and they're like, hey, could you hear this? If it's a good song, you work that in. At least I know I've got that couple or that person and probably their whole table.
Totally.
That's if I play that, they're coming to the dance floor and they're going to be my party starters. So, and if I don't have any of that, I just got to go to whatever my best song
You
is.
hope for the best.
and just go, ladies and gentlemen, the dance floor is open. Let's
Yeah.
get this thing going. We're
Yeah.
here to dance. We're here to celebrate.
Yeah.
And you just kind of create the moment with your voice as well as the song you've chosen, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got to do what you got to do. So you mentioned line dancing.
Here we
Now,
go.
So we're gonna do it right on the show here
Here we
for
go.
we're
We're
gonna
season
line dance
finale
right now.
in our
The Cupid
Christmas
shuffle,
sweaters.
the cha-cha slide, all that good stuff. We're doing it right here. So this is a very debatable topic right now, right? I'm seeing a lot of DJs with a social media presence, and they're basically saying to avoid it unless it's been requested by the couple. Now, some people like it. Some people who may be blonde sitting between us, not going to call out any names, may not like it, But everybody's got their own personal preference.
Right.
So what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I think I kind of mentioned it earlier. I mean, my style, I'm not someone who does a line dance, leads it unless it's probably requested, unless I'm looking at this dance floor and there's people who I can tell are wanting that. Maybe someone's requested like something interactive. They
Which
just
you
say,
probably get at least one request a wedding.
absolutely,
At least one.
absolutely.
People come up and say, "Can you play the cha-cha slide?" Like, do
Yeah.
they really?
Literally every wedding, you probably get at least
Okay,
one
are they
request.
60?
No,
Yeah.
not always.
They're not. No,
That's
surprisingly, no,
surprising.
no, because I think it can be younger because I think you go out to bars or clubs and you never hear it there. You never hear the cha-cha
True.
slide. So I think the wedding is almost this like safe place.
And it's a
Right?
wedding song, so people
It's
are
a
like,
wedding
"I
song.
must hear it because it's a wedding." So
Yeah.
I get
Well,
that.
you got all your friends and family there, It's
Yeah.
kind of like a group thing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't know why people make it sound so bad. I mean, if it gets people up and dancing, it's interactive.
Yeah.
What's so bad about
I don't
it?
see anything cheesy about it if you don't make it cheesy. I know. Here we go. No,
Hey, I'm not judging.
yeah. But look, if you have a
Hey,
DJ that
he said
makes
he didn't
it,
like it. I like
Yeah.
this DJ. Okay.
I don't do it by default, but
Yeah.
I feel like also, if it's one song,
Yeah.
of course, if it's on the do not playlist,
Then
I'm
don't
telling
play it.
guests like, hey, I have some other songs I'm prioritizing, right? But if it's not on the do not play and someone requests it, I'm probably gonna do it because at least I know like they're on the dance floor, they want to hear it. I'm playing to the people who are out there having a great time.
Mhm.
So
Right.
yeah,
No, I hear what you're saying.
I'm definitely not anti. Look at it that way.
Yeah, not
Same.
anti, but you're not
I'm
going to
not-
play it as your opener.
No, definitely not the opener. But if you get a request for it,
Yeah.
unless it's on their do not playlist,
Right.
then why not?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right? If they want it, if the people are gonna dance. And I also find that it also, not you don't even have to play the full song. You can just play a chorus to whatever, go
Yeah.
right into the next one. But at least you got more people on the dance floor.
Yeah.
That's
People
true.
will hear that song from out there and they'll come and join in,
Yeah. I mean, it makes a good picture too. You have everybody there together, kind of smiling, doing something.
Everyone doing the wobble.
Yeah.
The wobble.
I'll say this though
wobble's
as
cool.
well. I'm more about the wobble,
I like the
Cupid
wobble, too.
shuffle, cha-cha slide. I've been DJing for a while. I can honestly count on one hand the amount of times I played cha-cha slide.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
So it's probably
Yeah.
your least played.
Least played at the group dances.
Yeah.
Wobble and Cupid shuffle is probably my most play. If I'm
Yeah.
gonna play a group dance,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do Cupid shuffle. It's
Yeah.
it's easy.
I've seen girls like
easy.
run out of the restroom for that song.
Yeah.
Like they're like, yeah, I know
For
this
what?
one. The cha-cha slide.
Yeah.
They're like in the restroom and they're like, girls, they're probably drunk. We have to go
Sure.
dance. So
Yeah.
totally.
Speaking
So-
of requests, I'm curious how you manage to handle requests because every DJ has their own way of doing things, you know. So, how do you personally handle requests, especially the dumb ones that people come up and ask?
Yeah, it happens.
Dumb
you know?
ones.
Oh, tons. I mean, you'll have
We
at
don't
least
wanna
one
call
person.
them
You don't want to
dumb,
call them dumb.
but
Yes.
we're
Let's just
like,
say this.
Just, it's not the
Really?
time for this country song.
You'll have at least
Yeah.
one
when
we're
person
playing
come
rap.
up and say, "Hey, man, if you play this song, everybody and their mother is going to be dancing."
Yeah.
It's like, okay, intoxicated person I've known for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I'll take your word for it.
That's a great way to put it. Like,
You know?
you seem very credible.
Yeah,
like,
you know
I
everybody
trust you.
here. Why not?
Yeah.
So how do you deal with this?
So I have it's all about kind of how you receive it, right? And how I'm gonna look at the list, and yeah, sometimes it's a song that's on the do not playlist,
Yeah.
especially group dances. But I always hear them. Like, we're never gonna say like, I don't know about that, you know, but I'm always gonna say, oh, okay, like, let me put that down. Let me see if I can work that in. And if it's a great song, like, that's the best, right? If someone requests a song and you're like, oh, I was gonna play that song 2 songs
Right.
from now anyways.
Right.
You're like, oh, this is money in the bank. But
Got it coming up for you.
that
It's already
one.
on my playlist.
then you're like, oh, I think I can get that in, and then boom, you hit them with it. But
Yep.
I always handle it very like receptive to it. I don't want to shut anyone down because they're, again, like,
sure.
they're the life of my dance floor,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
And they're making the party better for your, you know, bride or groom or whoever.
Mhm.
So if it doesn't make sense, sometimes I'm just say, hey, we're kind of in, you know, the hip hop vibe right now. I'm gonna see if I can get back into country later. Like, Carl, I think you said that. It's like, it's not the time for the
Mhm.
country song.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know, so there's a way to say it where hopefully they understand. It's funny, I'm actually using this new thing I saw some DJs do. It's a website called nosongrequest.com.
What?
Kinda-
kinda
What is
funny.
that?
Nosongrequest.com, you know, a little shout out to them. But
Right.
it's actually a place to make requests. So what it is it organizes, it's a QR code. And I've tried it at a wedding now. I've tried it at a club I've DJ'd, and it works where they can scan it and you can put in the request, you can dedicate it, you can say why requesting this. But, you know, that's fine. That's cool. But what's I like about it is once someone makes the request, others can see that. And if they go on and see it, they can like it. And so then where I'm looking at it, and it sends to your phone, that song now moves up. And then I'm like, oh, shoot, 7 people have liked that song. Maybe that guy who came up, hey, drunk guy, like, maybe you weren't wrong that
Yeah.
everyone's liking this. Maybe I should play Despacito right now
Yeah.
or something like that. So I'm experimenting with it. It's kind of something new. And I guess that's kind of
So they scan a QR code, put in their song request, you receive it,
yeah.
and you have a list of requests.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be better because drunk people aren't screaming at you trying to request a song where you can't even hear them anyways.
It's very
This
COVID
way-
friendly.
It's very, yeah.
It's
like,
very
please
like,
don't
just
spit
stand
on
it.
me.
Please don't stand right next to
Yeah.
me. Please don't lean on my DDJ controller.
Totally.
Right,
And it
right.
helps you because then
With your
people
drink
are
right over it.
requesting.
Oh, man. We've probably had that, right?
Oh no.
Oh my God.
You're like, please.
I'm like, I'd love to hear your song request, but I can't take my eyes off of you
Yeah.
completely destroying this
Yeah,
equipment.
just hanging your drink right over my equipment. But
Yeah.
it's a great idea.
I know, I
So,
love that.
Yeah, so I'm trying it out. It's something new. I guess that's kind of, you know, up with the times, right?
Totally.
Scheduling. But it's cool. But I like the interactive of where people can, you know, also say like, oh, I didn't think of that song, but I want to hear that. And then it prioritizes it.
That's true.
So,
yeah. I like that idea.
Giving it a
You'll
shot,
have to look
giving it a
into
try.
that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it's a great idea. I wish
Yeah.
more people would actually do that instead of coming up and screaming in our ears.
Yeah.
Spilling their
exactly.
drink on your stuff.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, speaking about all those songs, we all know that weddings have a very wide demographic and age gap. So when you're playing all this music, you know, you're not going to please an 18-year-old and also maybe a 60-year-old if you're playing a certain song that this person had requested.
Right.
So what's a pro tip as a DJ that you do in a situation like this?
Yeah, I try to work in my songs where I think lucky for maybe not lucky for us as DJs, but maybe you guys have seen a lot of the more modern music now is really throwing back to like beats or things like
Or
Lizzo,
they
Bruno
use the
Mars.
same beats
Use the
from
same
80
beats,
songs.
or even like
Yeah.
a Lizzo song like Juice. It's totally an 80s funk kind of groove song.
Really?
Yeah, super, super funky in how it's written. There's also some artists like Purple Disco Machine that are taking
Mhm.
these modern songs and making them sound more funky. So I never try to be super obvious that like, oh, he's clearly trying to play for the old folks right now, or
Right.
clearly getting into like the ratchet hip hop right now.
Yeah.
I try to find that balance of like, don't do 6 songs in a row or 5 songs in a row that are all just, clearly for the old guests or whatever. Find the songs that bridge that gap, like some I just
Yeah.
mentioned,
Yeah.
where, before you know it, grandma's dancing to Lizzo
Yeah.
and she doesn't know it, but it blends with Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Mhm.
And
I was just going to bring that
right?
up. And most people all love that kind of music anyways. Like
Yeah.
September, people are like, everyone on the dance floor is dancing to that, no
Oh,
matter
yeah.
if you're old or young.
Oh, yeah.
And then Don't Stop Believin'. Like you have songs that are very common at weddings that everyone's going to like.
Yeah.
But I do like that. Juice by Lizzo.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You got to play that one. You'll get everyone going.
I like what you said about, like, for instance, Don't Stop Believing, like classic song it's not even a dance song. It's a straight
No.
rock song, but it's
Yeah.
iconic. Everyone knows it, right? I've found as a DJ to find some of those songs where don't take away from how the song's actually written. Like, I don't like when DJs play remixes of stuff where it's so unrecognizable, like you can't sing along.
Mm-hmm.
But a song like Don't Stop Believing is meant to sing along with.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But if you can find what's called a redrum of it, where the beats emphasize a little bit more, maybe it's chopped up a little bit, so there's something to it, that helps too. Where your
Yeah.
younger crowd is like, oh, cool, he's playing a remix of
Here's
this.
some
It's
beats.
a little bit more dancey. It blends in more,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still the song that everyone can sing along with, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
No, I love that. And I actually have a question for both of you guys because you guys are both DJs, right?
Yeah.
So I'm curious, we've talked about it, kind of opening up the dance floor. But what songs, top 3, if you were to pick, would you play to open up the dance floor? You go first, and then I want to hear yours too.
Okay. Well, you kind of alluded to it, but my go-to is Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Really?
September.
I mean, it's
I have
very
to agree with that
common.
one, too.
Yeah.
That's my go-to, and my wife will back that up too. She's like that. She knows that's my go-to.
Yeah.
It's like I love that song. So go.
You got 2 more.
No, I like it. One.
Are we going
Let's do
back?
that.
Oh, okay. I didn't know
I
if we
would
were
have to
rapid
agree.
fire back.
I
I would have to
wasn't.
agree.
I
I'd
wasn't.
have to agree with that one too. September's a great one. To
You
start
can't
off.
copy.
Well, I'm gonna copy that one. Anyways. I have to agree with September.
If it's that good, we can both use it.
It's
Totally.
that. It's,
Okay.
It is. It's just one of those
What's
great
another
ones to
one?
start off.
Yeah, then you start with number 2.
I like Dancing Dancing Queen.
Oh,
Um,
Dancing Queen's
That's
good
a nice one too.
Okay.
I feel like that one kind of gets all age ranges up and dancing.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter if
Totally.
you're old or young. Everybody loves that song.
Okay.
Yeah.
2 for you.
So again, if we're talking about weddings too, sometimes it's different.
Yeah.
But,
Just weddings.
but weddings.
And to open up the dance floor.
Yeah. I like this combination to start of Twist and Shout by the Beatles.
Okay.
Also classic, because it kind of has, it's not a group dance, right? But you get that moment where it's like, and you think about
That's
Ferris Bueller,
true,
right?
yes.
Where everyone's just doing Twist.
Yes.
And then you go into Shout by the Isley Brothers, or like Animal House, because it's like Twist
Ah.
and Shout, kind of a word play.
Yeah.
And so you go,
Nice.
Take
Yeah.
notes.
I like that.
eh,
I like that.
oh.
Okay.
Damn, jotting that one down.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I like the older ones too, but if I had to start maybe with a newer one, I like Uptown Funk. Just because it has,
Yeah.
that funky beat with the more modern, and everybody loves that song.
And that attracts the older crowd and the
Both,
younger.
yeah.
So
Really
That's
attracts
it. You
both.
gotta your first song. We're talking about
Remembers.
opening a dance floor.
Yeah.
It's got to be something that
Right.
really appeals to the widest amount of
Absolutely.
people.
Yeah. You're not
there,
going to play a
right?
house song that not everyone knows.
I will say, I think it really helps when you start off with something. You got to play something for like grandma and grandpa to begin, because
they're going to leave early too.
they're gonna leave early. They
Yeah.
want those first, 1 or 2 dances, and they won't complain if you play something they like. If you don't play what they like, they're gonna complain about the music.
Mhm.
But
Right.
if you play something they love, the music's just fine.
That's right. On that same note, so a question for you:
Yeah.
Do you ever start with a slow dance? to pack the dance floor?
Ooh, rarely, but I do maybe sometimes start with a slower tempo one
Yeah.
just to start it off, and then I'll kick it up a notch.
Yeah. So
Like a slow dance, as in like everyone comes up with their significant other
Yeah.
and starts dancing. That's
Yeah.
actually a great idea.
So, because we just talked about like grandma, grandpa are going to
Yeah.
leave early.
Right.
So, again, talking about the theme of opening a dance floor,
Mhm.
I've actually used The Way You Look Tonight by Sinatra
Nice.
and to be the first open dance song
I love it.
because it's an iconic song. Even younger generation, most people know it. It's in so many movies.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So I'd say grab that someone special. Let's get out here on the dance floor. Let's celebrate love together with our newlyweds. And they come out, and surprisingly, like you don't always have to have this like banger of a
Right.
dance party
Mhm.
song, but once you do that slow song, then you hit them with whatever, like some of the songs we mentioned, Uptown
Yeah.
Funk,
Right.
whatever.
Start it off slow, build it up.
Yeah.
And then people are already on the dance floor because you just did a slow, intimate song.
Yeah.
I
It's
love it.
sometimes you probably know it's hard sometimes to figure out how do we get back to, at weddings, people want to hear a slow song here and there. Sometimes it's hard to find that right spot if the energy's
You're
still
so
high
right.
Mhm.
You're so right.
to like, you don't want to kill the vibe, but you
Right.
know it has a place at a wedding.
Right.
Mhm.
We've seen a beautiful first dance or parent dances. So sometimes I use that like Way You Look Tonight or Thinking Out Loud by Ed Sheeran, like right at the
Just to open
beginning.
it up.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it actually is it's a good spot to fill it in because like you said, when you start building up the dance floor, it's kind of hard to throw in a slow song
Yeah.
unless it's like at the end
Right.
of the night.
And then grandma and grandpa are
They're
gone
gone
already.
Yeah.
already.
They
They took off hours
honestly
ago.
they left after the second song.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So in that case, it's a good idea, just to open it up and then start
Yeah.
building it up. So I like that.
Yeah.
Did you say song number 3? I don't think you did.
Well,
He
I'm going to
said
take that as
Sinatra.
song number 3,
Oh, okay.
Sinatra, if
So
we're
that's
going
your
that
third.
route.
Got it.
Because I've seen it work. So
Yeah.
that's
Mhm.
it's reading the room.
I
You know,
love
is
all
that-
of it. Yeah.
Can't go wrong with Sinatra.
I know.
Yeah.
And to follow up on that, what is your all-time favorite transition?
Yeah.
Give me your secrets.
Oh, man. I got to hear your secrets though too.
Well, he mentioned one for the beginning, the twist and shout one, right?
That's
That's a good
definitely
one.
one. Twist and Shout by
Yeah.
the Beatles into Shout by the
But
Isley
your
Brothers.
ultimate favorite transition, the one that just still gets you hyped to this day.
Yeah. So by default, I really like to start dance floors and early in the dancing with like high BPMs.
Mhm.
For some of your viewers, if you're not sure, BPMs, beats per minute.
Mhm.
About 128 BPMs is like pretty upbeat. That's like your EDM, your club stuff.
Yeah.
But there's
My
a lot
favorite.
yeah. Oh yeah. But there's hip hop that's in that too.
Mhm.
And two of the songs I love to transition early in the night is Push It by Salt and Pepper into at this one spot into It's Tricky by Run DMC. So it's in that middle of the
Ooh.
song where it's like, ooh, baby, baby.
Yes.
Baby, baby, this speech is my recital. I think it's very vital.
I
like
love it,
right
dude.
there.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of this like sexy, kind of groovy
Mhm.
hip hop song that doesn't feel super upbeat.
Mhm.
Right into like, It's Tricky. Most people know like, it's tricky to rock. And they
Yes.
start hands up and it gets
Yeah.
the energy real high.
Yeah.
I love
good one.
seeing that reaction of that
It's a
transition.
good transition. I actually use that one quite a bit, to be honest.
So you know what I'm like.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I actually that's one of my most used transitions from Salt and Pepper to It's Tricky.
It's great.
It's a great one. I
Do
like
you
it
have
too.
a favorite one?
Yeah.
I got a
all-time
few.
favorite?
I don't know
Tell
about
me.
all-time favorite, but okay, couple of my favorites. I like the intro from DMX Party Up, just the intro, right into Yeah by Usher.
Oh.
Mm.
So I'll just play like the first few seconds of that and then right into Usher. I like another one, Bites the Dust by Queen into Uptown Funk.
Mhm.
And then I think my all-time favorite would probably have to be what is it? It's Super Freak
Mhm.
into what's that one by MC Hammer? Can't touch this.
Can't
Yeah,
Touch
right there.
This.
Same tempo.
Same tempo and they almost sound identical.
Right.
So I love that
Well,
transition.
my
personally.
favorite transition, just
Justin Bieber.
No, yeah.
the Justin Bieber song into the
Into
Justin
another
Bieber.
Justin
Yeah.
Bieber song.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Into a song that Justin Bieber's featured on.
Yes.
Absolutely.
There
Yeah.
you go.
I like other music other than Justin Bieber. Okay.
But I think that the real art of it is finding new songs to mix together. I think that's what
Yeah.
keeps it fresh.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So I mean, I'm always trying to find new things, new mixes, new transitions, and it just keeps me going. It keeps me creative.
Yeah. I think we live for that moment as a DJ where you get the like, oh, whoa!
Yes.
Like, the new-
Yes.
I gotta give a shout out. I was at Wedding MBA in Vegas a couple months ago, or a month ago now, and this DJ, I can't remember his name, or I'd love to shout him out here. He did this transition of "All I Want for Christmas Is You" by Mariah Carey,
Mhm.
where it went the last one where it builds up, where she goes is, and it
Yeah.
hits the high note, and right there when everyone's about to sing it, it went into "You" by Soldier Boy.
Yep.
That's
And
so
that
good.
place went off. So
I've
shout
seen
out
that.
this DJ. Later on, I'll try to tag him or something. But like, I love that kind of unexpected transition too.
Wordplay.
Yeah, the wordplay.
Well, that and it gets you the ooh like from
Yeah.
the crowd.
I've actually
Yeah.
seen that video, so I'm wondering if that's the same DJ.
Was
you're
it the
talking about.
convention that
It
was in
was-
Vegas like in November?
Yeah, Wedding MBA convention for national conference
Yeah.
there for wedding professionals.
Yeah.
The DJs hosted an opening night party.
Fun.
Yeah, DJ named Tori
Okay.
led it, and great, awesome fun. But some of those transitions that don't, it doesn't have to be two songs to necessarily work together. It's
Mhm.
more the like,
Wordplay.
I don't want to, wordplay, or like, I don't want to say shock value of it, but it's like one I did that was kind of really great reaction was, Turn Down for What,
Mhm.
right? There's like that one epic build where it's like, and everybody shout, 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 shout. It builds up, and then you pause, and everyone's waiting for that huge drop. I've done that where it cuts out, and I go right into "Somebody Once
Oh
Told
my
Me the
gosh.
World," right into Smash
Completely
Mouth
opposite.
by All Star, and people go, "What?" And then like that moment of shock, and then
I
they all
love
sing
it.
along. So,
Yeah.
maybe a little cheesy,
It's like the
but
anticipation of it.
the anticipation, and you'll keep that dance floor on their toes.
You got to keep them on their toes, man. That's what it's
Yeah.
all about.
And you said it, finding something new.
Yeah.
And that was just me experimenting. I was like, what could I do with this epic moment? And then figure out like, oh, this is going to get into something they didn't expect, and get
Yeah.
a reaction.
Totally.
Yeah,
So,
keep it fresh. Keep them on their toes.
create the memories, right? They're going to remember that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Figure
man.
out something that they're going to go, remember when the DJ did this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And like you said a little bit earlier too, like if we have viewers that are listening in right now and they're like looking to find a DJ and they're like, oh, they have all these cool transitions, but like what if I personally don't like all those songs? But like you kind of said, they give you a whole list of songs that are like, you must play this. And then there's the do not play list, which I actually used at my wedding, which is very helpful. So it gives you two an idea of what this couple wants and kind of what their guests want. So if you're listening in like, wow, these are great transitions, but that's not my vibe. Well, you kind of tell them your vibe, you
Yeah.
have meetings beforehand and you go over all this stuff
Yeah.
with your DJ. So you brought up "Yeah" by Usher. That was actually on my do not playlist.
Really?
I don't know
Ooh.
why. It was just
Not a
on
fan
there.
of that one.
Well, because it's been played at
It's
every wedding ever.
Overplayed. I love Usher and I love that song, but I just
Yeah.
I can't. So, but he loves that song and I just didn't like it at the time. The
Yeah.
month of I didn't want it.
To each their
apparently.
own,
I
right?
That's
know,
right.
I mean,
know.
some of the most popular songs are probably on people's do not playlist.
Yeah.
Right. Like
a lot
WAP.
of the time. Like WAP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I
WAP-
would have loved WAP at my wedding, but I feel like everyone else would be like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah,
Right.
that one's a little up there.
That's a
It's
fine
very
line.
up
Yeah.
there.
That's a
It
fine
is
line of when you play that
very.
too.
Yeah, grandma's gonna leave early when you
Yeah.
play that one. She's like,
You're watching, like, is she gone? She gone? All right.
All right, drop
What's
it.
up, party people? Here we go.
No, I feel like my grandma would be like on the dance floor, like front row. Like she'd be like, "What is this song?"
I need your
Down on
grandma at
this.
every gig I play.
But she still leaves early. She gets tired at
Okay,
7:30.
all right,
So
all right,
yeah.
all
We'll play it early on.
The matinee sets.
Yeah. All right, Ricky. Well, before we let you go, we want to play a little game with you. We've played it once before. It's
Mhm.
called Drinks with DJs.
Yep.
We just want to test your trivia a little bit. There's no wrong answers whatsoever, but
Oh, here we
Technically,
go.
the's a wrong answer. You
Oh.
got to drink.
let me show you how it
True,
works
true.
real quick. So, here are the rules.
All right.
3 possible answers for each question. If you pick my answer, I have to drink. If you pick Coral's answer, Coral has to drink.
All right.
And if you pick the answer that neither Coral or I pick, you got to drink, buddy.
I just have to say, I love her little photos.
I
I'm
was
chugging
looking at
that wine.
Yeah. I love it.
So here we go. You ready to play?
I'm ready.
All
Let's
right,
do
let's
it.
do it. Here we go. All right, first question. Which of the following songs released in 2022 was the hottest song to play during a wedding? I'm Good, it's the Blue remix. Cuff It, or About Damn Time.
Ooh. All right.
Remember, no wrong answers here.
No
just
wrong
personal
answers.
choice.
But Cuff It is, I love that, but that's really just coming on now.
Just came out.
So I'm going to go with Lizzo, About Damn Time, because that has been a banger all year.
That has been. It's thick 30, baby.
There it
All right,
is.
let's see. Here
Did
we
I
go.
get it?
Coral picked I'm Good.
Okay, you got the EDM vibe. I know
Mhm.
And
that.
I
Oh,
picked About Damn Time.
So I
cheers to
almost
that.
man.
wanted to pick Lizzo because I love her,
Cheers.
but I'm more EDM. So
yeah, you mentioned that, so I
Uh-huh.
Hey, they're all good. And that Cuff It one,
About damn
it
time.
just dropped like a
Okay,
month or two
what's
ago.
the Cuff It song?
It's by
it's
Beyonce.
Beyonce because
Oh,
she had two
yes,
singles come out
yes.
first, and but I don't really hear Cuff It on the radio too much yet. But I mean, it is
For
Yeah.
weddings, it's great.
such a
love it.
groovy.
Yeah,
That's the
Bang.
like
Good it's a good one.
that
And
one
these
when
are all-
people dance.
Yeah,
Yeah, they,
exactly.
like,
It's the
do the
TikTok.
side. Yeah.
You do the
Okay,
sway
okay.
Such
kind
a
That's
of.
party
good one.
vibe too.
Yeah, it's great.
Okay.
And these are all great songs for 2023, by the way.
Oh yeah,
So,
that one they're gonna stick around.
Yeah, for
for
sure.
sure.
All right, here we go. Next one. The bride's brother comes up to you and asks if he can mix a few songs. Oh, and he's also a DJ. What a surprise.
Watch out.
What do you do, Ricky? Do you step back and watch the show, deny him, or ask the bride for permission?
Oh, I'm always going to the bride for this one, going, hey, that sounds great. I already have a couple songs lined up. Let me make sure, your sister is cool with it. I'm
Yep,
asking.
yep. All right, well, let's see. So, Coral.
Absolutely.
says
Ask
you
Yeah.
the
can
bride.
ask the
Oh
bride
my
yeah.
for
gosh.
permission. That's a good one, Coral.
Did I get
Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to deny him. I'm sorry. Unless the
Really?
bride approves it ahead of time,
Yeah.
we arrange that. Nobody's touching my gear.
Bro, this is my set.
I'm
Get back on
sorry.
that
Touch
dance
my
floor.
drum set.
Yeah.
But unless it's prearranged, not letting it happen.
Have-
That's good though.
Have you had this happen?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I actually had just a couple I just booked ask me in advance if they can have someone play a set.
Yeah, I guess set.
And it's arranged ahead of time, and I let them know, hey, you're gonna take full responsibility if anything happens.
Yeah.
So it's gotta be prearranged. But other than that,
All right.
yeah. But I always get that, hey man, I'm a DJ as well, and I'm like, oh, that's cool, man.
I'm
Going-
just glad no one said the first answer. Step back and watch the show. Hey, I've been meaning to take a break.
Come on,
Have at it. Come
Have
on.
at it.
I need my vendor meal anyway, so go
Yeah.
ahead.
Go jump right in. Let's see what you got.
Yeah.
All right, next one. Here we go. If you could have dinner with one of these famous music artists, who would it be? Is it the late Elvis Presley, the great Bob Marley, or the one and only Justin Bieber?
So this question is, do I want Coral to drink or not? Because I know what her answer. I hope I know what her answer would be.
What's your answer though? Who would you
My
have?
answer. Oh man, there's a lot I could put on this list. I guess from this list, I'm gonna say Bob Marley. If it was my choice out of
Yep.
those three,
Yep.
that's who I'd want to speak with. Not just because I have dreads, nothing to do
It
with
has
that.
nothing to do with it.
But the genre of music.
Reggae.
He's my
So,
second.
all right.
Bob Marley.
Okay.
I feel like he'd be so cool.
I wonder who your first.
That
is.
would be an interesting.
Elvis
I don't
Presley?
know.
Yeah.
Could
So
be.
I actually picked Bob
Oh,
Marley.
okay.
So I'll
All right,
drink
cool.
to that.
Yeah.
And of course, no
Hmm.
surprise, Coral picked Justin Bieber. That's
Yeah.
going to be a 12-hour dinner, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, she might
Just
not even
one?
come back from that dinner.
Yeah.
It's an overnight stay.
That's going to be an overnight
Whoa!
dinner.
Watch out now.
She probably won't even come home, to be honest.
Sorry,
Ay,
John.
ay,
Love
ay.
you.
Yeah, Justin Bieber kidnapped me.
Mm.
All right, so cheers to that, Bob
Cheers.
Marley,
All right. Yeah.
one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
All right. You play a song request and it completely bombs. The crowd is starting to walk away. Which song are you playing to get them back on the dance floor? Playing Suavemente, Uptown Funk, I Want to Dance with Somebody.
They would all work, I think. I'm gonna go Uptown Funk, most in the middle. for
Kind of in
me.
the middle right
yeah,
there, right?
in the middle of the road.
All right, let's see what we got. I picked Suavemente. It's always
Yeah.
good, never fails. But Coral picked Uptown
I-
Funk. Hey, good
alright.
choice.
I do like Suavemente, how it just you could drop right into that hot,
Mhm.
like right into
Yeah.
that lyric, and everyone knows the second you play that what to do.
Mhm.
That
Yep.
it's gonna just hit with that beat in a second.
And the cool thing about that song, I feel like across every culture, it always works, man.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. They just love it.
Yeah.
It's just one of those songs. So cheers to that one.
I
Cheers.
drank
All right,
already.
all
You're
right.
not. Your drink's getting warm over there.
Yeah,
you haven't,
you
you
know.
have
I
a
know,
drink
hasn't
over
fixed
there.
any of it. I don't want-
That's the price
All right,
of crushing it.
I think this one he might though. I think this one he might. All right. Which of the
Okay.
following songs would you play to get the crowd singing along? We Will Rock You, Don't Stop Believing, or Sweet Caroline?
Yeah, I'm going Don't Stop Believing.
Yeah.
For sure on that one.
All right.
Sing along.
I personally like We Will Rock You.
Yeah.
And of course,
Oh,
Sweet
you guys
Caroline.
knew.
I
You're
kind of
like,
had a feeling you were gonna pick
yeah,
that one.
all right.
It's a
well,
great sing along though,
great
man.
sing
Probably the
along.
best one.
All of them are great sing-alongs.
Yeah.
Bum,
So,
bum, bum.
Queen
bum,
has a
bum.
ton.
Yeah.
Man, Queen has a ton of great sing along
Yeah.
songs.
Yeah.
Well, cheers.
Cheers.
There you go.
Finally, you got one. All right, next one. Which of the following risky songs
Ooh.
is worth the risk for a wedding dance set? Super Freaky Girl, WAP, or Big Energy?
They're all so good.
They're all so good.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say I play Super Freaky Girl and Big Energy at every wedding.
Mhm.
So the biggest risk to me is WAP for sure. That is the risk, but the reward, oh yeah, going WAP.
You're going with WAP?
Going with WAP.
All right, let's see. Coral picked Big Energy. I picked
Oh.
Super Freaky Girl. So you're
I'm living
drinking
on the
again.
edge here. You guys are playing it safe. I'm going with it. So cheers to that.
Cheers to
Cheers.
that one.
Just so we know, edited.
Of course,
WAP.
of course. Most of these ones,
that's
especially.
real,
Yeah.
real
I think
on
all
the
of
edge,
them.
unedited WAP.
I think all of these ones you want to play the clean version, but Super Freaky Girl is a fun one, man. That one gets them going.
So good. Yeah.
I love that one. All right, last one. Which of the following songs is a low-key banger to play when the guests are wasted?
None of them.
YMCA, the Macarena, or Jiggle Jiggle?
Carl's like, not up in here. None. I got to be real wasted. I'm gonna go YMCA. I think it's the most well known out of those, and I've dabbled with YMCA.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a good one to get people when they're drunk, right? When they're a little
Yeah.
tipsy.
yeah.
All
We'll
right,
go with
let's
that.
see. Coral picked YMCA,
Hey,
Only-
and I also have to
song.
agree.
there we
Oh.
go.
YMCA.
I like
That
it.
is the one,
In
man.
agreement. I
That
will
is the one.
cheers to you guys.
Let's
there
all cheers to
as
that
well.
one, man. That is a hell of a song right there.
Yeah. Careful now.
Oh, almost spilled it on me.
That's a fun one.
It is.
Oh wait, we got one more.
Hey, all right.
All right. This is the last one. All right. Security tells you that you need to shut it down, but the crowd is chanting for an encore. You give the people what they want. What song are you playing next? Turn down for what? Shut up and dance. Don't stop me now. Told you, man. Queen's got a lot of good ones.
Yeah. So yeah, if I'm getting kicked off of a preferred vendor list by going rogue on security,
Yeah.
I'm going turn down for what? We're going out
Right on.
real heavy.
Going out with a bang, right?
Yeah.
All right. And that's what Coral picked.
Yeah.
Turn
A
down
lot
for
of
what?
A lot of
I
similarities
picked
here.
Don't Stop Me Now. It's a fun one as well, but
Yeah.
got to go out with a
I
bang. man.
like the lyrical kind of like, you got to turn it off. Oh yeah, tonight I'm gonna. That's a great into an after party song.
It is.
by the way.
And a great sing along too.
Cheers.
Cheers to
there.
that one, man. All right. Well, that's our game for tonight.
Yeah. All right.
On that note, want to thank you again for being here with us, closing out our season finale.
Yeah.
And if anyone wants to book Ricky or Vox DJs for one of their events, how can they reach you?
VoxDJs.com or just booking at Vox DJs. You got myself, or we have about 60 other DJs to choose from. So
Nice. There you
whatever
go.
your vibe is, our goal is to have someone who's going to be the right person for whatever event you're hosting.
There you go, folks.
Yeah.
Hit up Ricky. He's the man. He's got plenty of DJs to make your event pop off. And on that note, folks, wish you all happy holidays, happy new year. We'll see you all in 2023. Cheers to that.
Hey, cheers. Happy
All right.
holidays, guys.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.